Hey guys, how's it going? It's Arit here. In this Mind Thrive episode, I want to talk to you about how to stop negative thoughts about money. The I don't have enough. I'm just so broke right now. I'm poor. I can't afford that. Right? All of these thoughts that we think and we sometimes just outright say out loud is always affirming to the universe that we don't have enough. We're living in a lack. And, if you're someone who is really trying to create a business, for example, or to really make it in terms of making more money and succeeding in your journey and what you want to achieve in, then it can be really, really difficult to get to where you want to be financially and in other places too, if you're always affirming that you don't have enough. A lot of the times the way we think about money really comes from how we were brought up around money and the ideas that we were exposed to about money, maybe in our family or just society in general. So the way you think about money is very much influenced by the way you were brought up. If you're realizing that you have so many negative thoughts about money, you've gotten into a habit of thinking about money a certain way. And in order to change that, you need to start thinking about money in a positive way, in an abundant way, instead of a lack. So what do I mean by that? So you need to train yourself to start feeling abundant and to feel wealthy and to feel affluent, to feel happy and comfortable about your finances and all this kind of thing, which I know is easier said than done. But what I'm going to do in this video is give you 10 different things that you can do right now to start training yourself into this feeling of abundance. The more you practice these 10 things, the more you're able to start feeling the way you want to feel about money and getting into the habit of a more positive outlook on money and attracting money into your life. So let's get started. Number 1, say thank you when you're paying your bills. I know this sounds absolutely absurd, and every time we receive our bills, we're like, crap, bills, gotta pay this. They keep taking our money, etc., right? Those are negative thoughts about money. When you're saying those things, you're actually saying you don't have enough to give. But think about it. What are you paying for in terms of your bills? You might be paying for rent or your house, your mortgage. You might be paying for your telephone bill and all these different things. And you actually use them. I'm assuming you're using your house, you're using your phone bill. So why not be grateful that you can actually pay for it? Why not be grateful that you even have that roof above your head or that service to be able to use your phone all the time? So think about it in that term. When you receive your phone bill, say thank you that I even have the money to pay this phone bill. Or thank you for offering this service to me that I use constantly on a daily basis. Number 2, pay yourself every day. So what do I mean by that? Think of an amount that you can afford to pay yourself every single day and put that money in a piggy bank. So I used to do this. This is care of Robert Kiyosaki. In his book, he talked about paying yourself a loonie, putting a loonie in your piggy bank every single day when you wake up or before you go to bed, whichever you prefer. And just the habit of doing that, you are not only saving in a bigger picture, in a bigger sense, but you are training yourself to feel like you have that money to pay yourself, to put towards what you want in life. So pay yourself. Whatever amount you can afford, even if it's just 5 cents, 10 cents a day, whatever you can, just keep putting that money every single day in your piggy bank and you will see that grow. Tip number 3, tap into other people's mindsets, positive mindsets about money. So that includes reading books like How to Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. That, by the way, is an excellent, excellent book that really helps you see money in a different perspective, in a positive light, and really helps you to do certain things that will attract it into your life. So How to Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And watch videos. We have YouTube, thank you. We have YouTube here for us at our fingertips where we can find answers to anything that we want. So just Google money affirmations or YouTube, put that in the YouTube search. You can also go to Bob Proctor's videos about attracting money and wealth into your life. Those are really great sources as well. So tap into other people's mindsets, successful people's mindsets about money, because really listening to them speak and listening and tapping into the way that they think about money will draw that energy into your life the more you tap into it. Tip number 5. The other day, Essetino Artists, our business, we spoke at a local college, Vancouver Community College, and we did this presentation, this talk about the power of social media and YouTube. And we felt just so amazing after that presentation, and we wanted to celebrate this accomplishment with other people. So what did we do? I called up my brother and I asked him and his family if he was able to go out for dinner. And it was on the business. It was on Essetino. It was on us. You know, we treated them to this dinner and we had a great time. So the point I'm trying to make is giving to others. This is something that you can do to also help you train this feeling of abundance, is when you feel like you have something to give to others. You know, it doesn't have to be taking someone out to a fancy dinner. It can be just making a batch of muffins and giving that to someone, or buying them a book that they've been keeping their eye on for a long time. Anything. It could be anything. And so if it's coming from you, if you feel like you're generous enough to give, this again trains that feeling of abundance, and you are telling the universe that you have a lot to give. So I encourage you to treat someone and be generous. Do these little acts of kindness, even in those times, and especially in those times when you feel like you don't have enough. Tip number 6. Now this is an activity that I got from The Secret by Rhonda Byrne, and I used to do this years ago when I first read that book. And it was absolutely amazing in terms of training a feeling of abundance and starting to think about all the possibilities and all the things you can do with a limitless bank account, right? So this is the activity. It has to do with writing yourself checks. Now you can find these fake checkbooks at the dollar store, or you can Google check template and go to Google Images and then print one out, and just print a bunch of them out actually, not just one. And the activity is to write yourself a check for something specific that you want to do, whether it's a certain experience or something specific that you want to have, whether it's purchasing an item. And the idea is these checks are coming from what she calls the Bank of the Universe, or something like that. It's like the universal bank, which is absolutely limitless in terms of how much money is there. It's the universe. It's abundant. It has so much, right? And that's exactly what money is. It's energy. It's transferable. It's not created or destroyed. It's around all the time. So what she talks about is writing out checks in terms of what you want to do or have or experience. And for example, I would write a check to myself for I think it was $5,700 at the time. And then in the little memo, I wrote European cruise 2014 or whatever it was back then. It was a while ago. But I mean, at the time, I thought that was so absurd. And it actually ended up happening. There's just so much power in training your mind to visualize these things. And this is what happens when you start to write yourself these checks, is that you'll start to think about what you want. You'll start to visualize what you want more and more. And every time you write a check, you would write yourself a check one every day. I usually did it at night before I went to bed, so one check a day. So the European cruise was one day, and then the next day was writing myself a check for $50 to Orit Esselin, and in the memo it was French manicure at the nail salon. You know what I mean? Like just think about what you want, all of these different things, and it's gonna be writing yourself a check every single night for 30 days. Try it for 30 days at the very least and see what happens. Tip number 7, put a $50 bill or a $100 bill, whatever floats your boat more, in your wallet, and just leave it there. Don't spend it. every time you open your wallet, you're going to see that money there. And, you know, I did this at a time when I didn't have very much in my actual bank account, but just leaving that cash in my wallet made me feel a certain way. You know, it made me feel like I have money in my wallet. I have money to spend, but I'm not going to spend it. I'm just seeing it there all the time, all the time. If you're someone who reads books a lot, use the $50 bill or the $100 bill as a bookmark. So putting it somewhere where you'll constantly see it, and you, again, have this feeling of, this is what I have this in my life, and I'm only going to attract more of it. Tip number 8, have a fun fund. So what does that mean? Do something at least once every single month that gives you that feeling of wealth, that makes you feel like, you know, you're fine financially. You are enjoying life, and you feel affluent in whatever it is that you're doing. So that might be having an expensive dinner, dressing up and going out for dinner once a month. Maybe it's going to the nail salon, and I know guys, you're also watching this, although some guys do go to the nail salon too. But I'm using my own examples here. I would keep a little savings or a fun fund at the end so that I would be able to use it at the end of every single month, and just go out and pamper myself and have a salon day and just feel good. So you can do the same. Think about certain activities. You can think about what you want to buy at the end of every month, but it's not the same. You really want to think about an experience that you can enjoy and feel the feeling of abundance. So think of what experiences will give that to you, and know approximately how much it costs and save for it every single month. If you want to do it more often, that's totally fine too, even better. Every 2 weeks, whatever you're able to do. And by the way, if you're not able to save as much as you would have liked to in that month, and you find that you don't have enough to feel that experience, no problem. Do something that doesn't even cost much money. What about going to the car dealership and sitting or test driving an amazing car? Or what about just going into open houses, checking out some amazing, gorgeous houses and apartments that you've been dreaming of? There are certain things that you can do that don't need money. So think about these experiences and go ahead and do it at least once every month. Tip number 8, and I know you might have heard about this a lot, affirmations. So an affirmation is something that, it's a statement that you say to yourself, I am abundant. But you don't just say the words. You are supposed to really feel it in your body and internalize what you're saying. You might not feel it when you're first starting to do affirmations, and I certainly didn't. But over time, the more you think about what you're saying, and the more you really just visualize what it means to be abundant and wealthy, the more you will feel it in your body. And again, this is what you want to train yourself to feel, in not just up here in your mind, but also in your entire body. You want to train yourself to feel more abundant and think positively about money. So saying things like, I am abundant, I am wealthy, I am attracting money at lightning speeds. And one of the favorite ones that I say is, I am shifting into a phase of greater abundance than ever in my life. So if you don't feel like I am abundant is good and does anything for you, maybe you have to say something that says, I am becoming abundant, or I am shifting into this next phase in my life that is just filled with abundance. And try to say these affirmations either every morning or every night before you go to bed. Number 9, and I talk about this a lot, keep a gratitude journal. So the more you appreciate what you have now, the more the universe will see that you are ready to accept and appreciate newer things that will come into your life. So keep a gratitude journal every night before you go to bed. Write down 10 things, at least 10 things you're grateful for that happened in that day. Or even just whatever you have. Maybe it's the roof above your head, or the food that you ate, like anything. I will link to a video that I did about sharing my gratitude journal with you. in the description below, and a couple other resources for you too. Like when I was talking about watching other videos, I'll link to a video that really helps in terms of training this abundant mindset. But back to appreciating. So think about what you are grateful for now and constantly say that to yourself, that you are appreciative of everything and you're thankful for everything that you have and everything that you're experiencing now in your life, and you can't wait to experience more. And the last tip, really simple and basic, guys, just know that everything is going to be fine. Just know that everything is going to turn out the way it's supposed to. Sometimes we get so consumed and stressed over the lack and not having this, not having money. It consumes us. But if we just say to ourselves, hey, I'm where I'm supposed to be right now. I have this and this. I'm so grateful for what I have now, and I'm just going to keep working at training myself to feel abundant, to be wealthy, and I can't wait till that falls into my lap. Just know that everything is going to be fine. And remember, and I talked about this before, money is energy. It flows. There is enough for everybody on this planet. And I truly feel that if you practice these activities, maybe it's not going to be all of them. Find what resonates most with you and practice these activities on a daily basis. You'll start to see a change. You really will. And if one activity doesn't work for you, try something else. So what I'll do is I'll put some helpful links down in the description below. And if you found this video helpful, please let me know by leaving me a comment down below. I would love to hear from you guys, and also any other thoughts or comments that you have. Thank you guys so much for watching. Everything's going to be fine. I will see you in the next video. Bye.
Back from the dead.